like I say, I warned them about everything. I warned them about the consequences. I warned them about consequences. I warned them about how to act in the universe. I told them, I gave my people a crash course on everything that they would need to know about the galaxy, which is basically, you know, the different life forms out there, you know, how to act around the different life forms, which ones to avoid pretty much, or at least which ones to be careful of, and basically, you know, what to look out as far as high-end smelting, and about the radiation and uranium, and basically the oxides that are out there in the universe, you know, and basically how to do high-end metal foundry, which is pretty much water power and a lot of energy, you know, and what to watch out for. Basically, in one lifetime, or 2 or 3 lifetimes, you could go from basically rocks and the dirt to pretty much all the metal you could ever stand or ever be able to deal with. Like I said, you can do a high-end metal foundry, and you need to get temperatures of up to 100,000 degrees or something like that. Although you do have to watch out for things like spontaneous combustion, stuff like that. You know, it's best not to be around the smelters when they're smelting. You know, use what's called, because like I said, you get radiation, and there's a lot of particle matter that starts getting discharged as you get up towards 100,000 degrees. You know, it's just like the sun or the star. You know, that's the star is a giant fusion reactor. So, you know, like I say, I had exoskeletons that were capable of withstanding that kind of stuff. You know, they could basically just, like I said, my exoskeletons, life forms could just get out, you know, and basically be like, sun, it's really nice. Look at the star. It's really nice. You know, and they would, and their armor would be being destroyed. You know, their bodies would be being destroyed, but they could do work and stuff like that. You know, the sun is, the star is very corrosive, you might say, with as far as particulate matter. There's trillions and billions of particulates in the universe, and most you can't see. You breathe them in, you breathe them out. You know, you don't really know that they're there, but they're there. Pretty much, the air is full of all kinds of things that you don't know exist. Bacteria. You know, there are really no airborne viruses necessarily. There's just airborne particles that have viruses on them. Like I said, viruses can't fly, but viruses can stick to particulate matters, and you can breathe those and you can breathe those particulate matters in, known as dust and stuff like that. But dust is usually heavy and usually falls to the ground. It's only when you disturb dust. Basically, we're in a giant soup that you don't understand. You got, like I told my other life forms, I said, you got to think of air as basically lighter than the normal water. And in many ways, gravity doesn't exist. What's actually keeping you on the ground is actually all the air above you that you don't really realize is there. You're heavier than the air, pretty much. There are trillions and billions of basically particulates above you. So all that water mass is actually pushing down on you. That's actually what you perceive as gravity. Like I said, gravity doesn't exist. It's all electromagnetic, and basically the water is attracted to the earth. Basically, the water, the particulates in the water, are necessarily the water. Like water is not magnetic really, but there are all kinds of different things in the water. Like I said, when water gets vaporized into the air, there's always some metal, some other particulates with it. And those particulates are attracted, and they attract the water down. And that's what actually keeps water, that's what you perceive as gravity, basically. It's basically all the different things above you. Anyway, when I was like 9 or 8 or so, I told everyone about, I told the people about, you know, basically how everything is. And I was like, well, this is what's going on. It's all magnetics. It's all particles, basically. Actually, it's not even really magnetics. It's particles. Everything is particles. And I told the Irish, and the Irish figured this out too. It's all particles. It's all just little bitty, teeny weeny little particles that you can't even see. And there has to be like 5 or 6 million of them for you to be able to see them. Like, this is all just kind of like one particle, one type of particle, which is metallic or whatever. Anyway, you can get particles to group up into into things which you perceive as metal. But I mean, realistically, there isn't that much difference between, say, this and this. Like, I mean, it's just that this is more soft and airy, and it's actually, you can actually do things more by weight. Like that toothbrush doesn't weigh as much as this, so this is more particular. That's why it's harder. Anyway, densities. It's all densities and particles, and that's how many particles are in this, and how many particles are in, say, this toothbrush, which is very old and I need to replace. But there's not very much. This is mostly space or air. It's basically particles with lots and lots of gaps in them. Anyway, whereas this, it's like you could take this and turn it into this kind of, well, that's mostly air, so it'll just burn away. Anyway, whereas plastic, you know. Anyway, though, it's all matter conversion, matter, but anyway, this is a whole bunch of basically whatever. Anyway, there isn't that much difference between all these different things. You know, it's just grouping of particles and which other particles and minerals and all that are together. Anyway, a crash course on that, and basically after that, you just play around with it until you get it, pretty much. And you gotta watch out for radiation or in uranium. Like I said, radios pick up that kind of stuff. And after that, you just got to go to school and figure it out for yourself. And that's why I told him to write it down in a book. I'm like, well, I don't really care about it anymore. I used to be a computer, but this is a crash course and what you need to know, and about the universe and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. And after that, they just went up and played around. Like I said, a long time ago, they used to think that everything ended at the sky. It's like, no. There's billions of trillions of galaxies, even a galaxy coming at us to do a flyby. Check us out. I think they know I'm here too. So, yeah, the other galaxy that's coming this way is coming towards us because they know I'm here, and stuff like that. Anyway, it's all very complicated. 800 galaxies, and I'm one creator, one life form, and anyway, very well known. Like I say, I've been all throughout. I've been over there to that galaxy. I've been to other galaxies. Antimatter galaxies are harder to get to, but I've been to them too, and they're just like this galaxy. Only, I mean, everything, life existence is the same no matter where you go. Almost. I mean, you know, at least the ones that I did, just different variants. The antimatter galaxy was actually really a lot nicer. They knew I existed because, anyway, whatever. Anyway, a lot of other galaxies knew I existed because they saw me pass by and come through and all that. And so, you know, it's only here that I was pretty much denied and ignored, pretty much. But oh well. Anyway, now that's because of Rodney and a bunch of other people. Anyway, oh well. So even though I wasn't know about, and even though people were actively trying to kill me, I lived. So, and I've been with different galaxies throughout my existence, 100 trillion years. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty old. So, it's been rough. Anyway, I lived a long time as basically a computer, and came in existence that way. And eventually, like now, I'm Brian. Or Lucifer. Actually, I always was Lucifer, so. Anyway, yeah.